All right. Welcome back to another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing something different. It's a type of media that I don't think I've ever reviewed on this channel. I am going to be reviewing a video game that I recently played. Yeah, I've never reviewed a video game on this channel, to my knowledge. Um, I don't really, I mean, I play mostly like NBA 2K, NHL, Call of Duty. I'll play sometimes. Although Call of Duty I haven't reviewed on here. I play GTA. I haven't reviewed it here. But I say a lot to say I'm going to be doing a review of 007 First Light. So 007 First Light just recently came out a couple weeks ago. It follows a young 26-year-old James Bond who is working his way towards becoming a double O agent. Um, so Patrick Gibson voices and does the motion capture and the face of James Bond in the game, and he was terrific. I thought he was really great. I would not be mad if he ends up being the next James Bond. I think he has what it takes, and if you guys have seen my video, I put out a list of my top three choices for James Bond. Number three was Harris Dickinson. Number two was Callum Turner, and number one was Jacob Elordi. I think that Patrick Gibson has entered that list now. He's just behind those three dudes, and I would not be mad at all if he ends up taking the cake because he was great. He had that Bond charisma. He had that Bond charm. Even if it was just a video game, like I think he can easily translate it to the big screen. So this James Bond follows, like I said, a young James Bond, and he's taken on all these global missions to try and earn that number, or earn the 007 number, and the slogan of the game is earn the number, earn that 007. So James Bond is trying to stop a coup d'etat on the British government that's been initiated by the son of a massive company called Webb Industries. And yeah, um, the graphics in the game were really good. It's a sandbox open world action game, so you don't get to explore too much. But when they place you down somewhere, like whether it was in Slovakia or somewhere in London or Malta or in Mauritania, you get to explore quite a lot. There's a lot of open space. Um, like my biggest the one thing I loved about this game the most was the fighting mechanics. The fighting mechanics literally felt like a movie. Like when I was playing as James Bond and I was going up against some henchmen, I literally felt like it was I was watching a James Bond movie, but I was controlling it obviously with my controller. But I was like, this is like a movie. Like this is hand to hand combat like from a movie, and this is great. Like they did it excellently. All the dodging, all the punching, and the combos and all that you could do were great, and it was very terrifically done. Um, Soundtrack of the game was great, typical James Bond. Um, I can tell for sure that the composers of the soundtrack, who also did a couple of Assassin's Creed games, and I think Alien Isolation, if I'm not mistaken, for the publishers IO Interactive. Um, I could tell that they took a lot of inspiration from previous James Bond movies, and they did a great. They did absolutely great. The James Bond theme song they did was great. One part that I really liked was you're on a boat and you have to chase after someone, and then as you get on the boat there's like a epic version that starts playing of Lana Del Rey's theme song that she composed, which by the way was a really good song. But they orchestrated a epic version of Lana Del Rey's song, and it was so unbelievably epic, so badass. I had the biggest smile on my face when that played as I was chasing the woman in the boat, and I was like, this is James Bond, man. Like this is nothing's better than this guy. And you guys know me. Like James Bond is one of my favorite movie franchises. If you've been watching this channel for a long time, you know, like Bond is one of my favorites movie franchises ever. Um, that was very well done. What else? The action set pieces were really good. Like they had massive pieces in Slovakia, uh, in Mauritania. Malta is where you undergo training to get you sent out into the field. There's some in London. Um, and so the villains, yeah. So two villains that were great, and I'm saying two because they were always together, not always together, but they went hand in hand. Were these blonde-haired twins from Finland named the Murto twins, and every time I got to fight them in the game, like that was great. They really did them well. They were really like scary and menacing, especially because of the fact that they didn't say a single word in the game. And I was like, two blonde-haired twins with like super blonde hair, and they don't say a single thing. Like, yeah, this is typical. This is a typical James Bond villain right here, and both of them are deadly assassins who know how to beat you up. Like, yeah, that's typical James Bond. Damien Webb, who plays the son of Sir Nicholas Webb, was the grand villain who, at the end of the game, tries to overthrow the British government. He was a great villain as well. Very, very menacing. Very, very like imposing, and like the way that they did him, like they wanted you to be scared of him and be afraid of him. Um, because of the amount of physical power that he carried and what he wore as well. Um, I don't know if you can consider Bauma to be a villain. Bauma is played by Lenny Kravitz, surprisingly enough. One of the weirdest things I've ever seen, if I have to be honest, a musician in a video game. No, Lenny Kravitz, nonetheless, but like he was terrific. He was absolutely terrific, and he's getting a DLC now. So the game goes on. There's more. There's more. The 20 hours that I just played of the game. There's more. There's more coming. To my surprise. Um, yeah. So I know I kept this review relatively short, but like it was just a really good game. Like the graphics were great, the story was solid, the action was great. Patrick Gibson as a young James Bond was terrific, and I also think that audiences are receiving it really well to a point where people are getting more and more on board with the next movie being like this, like a young James Bond in the Royal Navy of Britain, and trying to earn the number of being James Bond. But that's my review of 007 First Light. I recommend that you guys play the game. It's really great. It's very great game. I don't know if it's gonna win Game of the Year, and I'm only saying that because of the fact that GTA 6 is coming out this year, and then also Dune. Yeah, I got a lot of games that I'm gonna be playing this year. First, I got James Bond, and now Dune, and then GTA 6. Yeah, I don't know if it'll win Game of the Year, but if it's a candidate at least, I'm gonna be very happy with that. Um, but yeah, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell button so you don't miss an upload, and I'll see you guys soon.